Hi, this is Danielle Millett. I'm doing nature versus nurture. The debate within psychology is concerned with which particular aspects of one's behavior are a product of either inherited, genetic, or acquired, learned characteristics of one's personality. The difference in the two are nature is what we think of as a pre existing and is influenced by genetic makeup and other biological factors that come from the parents and ancestors, i.e., predisposition to diabetes, predisposition to be short or tall or skinny or large. And nurture is taken in the influence of external factors after conception that is a product of exposure, experience, and learning on the individual over time. Meaning, the people who are adopted into a loving family are nurtured to be a loving person versus a person who is adopted into a family that abuses them. The four most important ways that are argued in the field of lifespan development are continuous change versus discontinuous change, critical and sensitive periods, lifespan approaches versus the focus on particular period, the relative influence of nature versus and nurture on development. The continuous change versus discontinuous change. The continuous change is all about the gradual development with one's level building on a previous level to keep an underlying developmental process over the same lifespan. As you can see in the picture I have listed, it is like a gradual slope upwards from infancy to childhood to adulthood. With discontinuous change being occurred in stages, each stage brings about a behavior that is different from the stages before, kind of like a building block where you can go from one step to another, but can't be on multiple steps at the same time. Critical and sensitive periods. Critical periods is a specific time during the developmental process that a specific event can cause great consequences to the child that will follow them through adulthood. This is where a child at a age should have read may have difficulties later on reading because they did not learn at the crucial time of brain development to read. A sensitive period is more likely to be talked about by developmentalists because people are more likely to be influenced by a specific event in a certain time period than any other, meaning an adult who at that particular time has an event happen and it stays with them for the rest of their lives, but it doesn't have an impact on any other thing because of the time period of everything that happens. Lifespan approaches versus the focus on particular period. It is in this is more about learning about the social influences that a child may have by gaining information about their parents and their social environment that they are exposed to growing up. This can also work to see where people learn to socialize and how they prefer to do it. Example, making friends online versus making friends in real life and which group they're put in. Group online friends are basically just grouped in all together because you don't really do a lot of face-to-face time with them. While offline friends are kind of grouped into particular aspects of what they like and how they like it. Being you have a friend who you hang out with on the weekends to go to the bar with, or a friend that you go do movies with because they're a new mother or something like that. Different things like that. The relative influence of nature and nurture on development. The nature refers to the genetic makeup that one gets from their parents and a predetermined influence. Nurture refers to the way that one is raised in an environment that will shape one's behavior. Within all the debate in nature versus nurture, I believe it comes down to the person and how they react to the way that the life is given them and what they make of it. Meaning that people can have great lives but can react differently to everything. Or people can have really not so great lives but turn it around and make it into something better. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend.